Good morning again. Let me try this. Um, again, I hope that you are doing well. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh God, I was like, hurry up, Facebook. I don't want him to be thinking of any jokes. And I am in a good place, so it's not me. It's just the system, and so we were on the learning curve.
Here we
Oh
go.
God, help.
Here
Good
we go.
morning. Oh gosh, please. Please don't hurt me now. Just joking. So, thank you for coming on. I'm so excited to have you on. And I do want to thank you for being one of my watchers on my vlog during the weekend. Thank you so much for your feedback and your support of your classmate. You're so awesome. And so, it's really good to see you because I haven't seen you like face to face in almost 20 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but let's talk about your Wi-Fi connection
No.
for a second.
Oh, gosh. No.
I'm
It's going to
trying
be
to.
good.
Okay, you say that. You say you starting off buffering. That's not good. You starting everything off buffering.
It wasn't me.
Oh, okay,
It was technology.
that's what they all say. Look, you got free nights and weekends. Okay, all right. We done got
Oh
distracted.
God.
We done got distracted already.
Oh my gosh. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. Got an early start. Got a long weekend. But it's good to be here. Good to be here.
Okay. Awesome. So I have a question for you.
Uh-oh, here we
I
go.
know that I
Here we
know that
go.
you attended Wake Forest, but are you a Duke or Carolina fan?
Really? Really? Really?
I'm just joking. I'm just
This
kidding.
is
People will
starting
want to
off
know that.
this is starting off so disrespectful. And coming from a person who doesn't have a strong Wi-Fi connection, like I can't believe this. I cannot
Oh,
believe this. I can't. Don't you? You're
oh my
not
God.
allowed to say that if your plan still has free nights and weekends, you cannot be
No, don't
disrespectful
tell
like that.
me.
Anyway, let me stop.
Don't
Okay,
tell me. Don't tell me.
let's get going.
So, you know what? I'm gonna get you offline. But tell everybody about my Cricket phone. Um, so I haven't seen you in close to 20 years, but I have been able to keep up with you via Facebook, and of course, our friends. They tell me what's going on with you. So I'm very proud of you for everything that you have accomplished since high school, which I know is a lot. You got kids, you got married, you are a comedian, you play football, you went to one of the greatest schools that we have in the state.
Well,
And
thank you.
oh God, that might get me beat up. But anyway,
No,
what
no,
made
my wife is
you?
a Central alum, so that's good.
Yeah, Eagle Pride. Yes,
Oh,
I
here we
I know
go.
Eagle
Look, it was just
Pride.
for you. You're
Yeah.
doing again. You get to that point where you're doing more than a person with a cricket phone should be doing. But anyway, go for it. Okay, we're getting back to it. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
Oh
ahead.
my God, help me, y'all. So, what made you want to become a comedian? And like, did it just happen, or was it something that you always wanted to do?
It's something that I've always wanted to do because I've always enjoyed making people laugh, and it seems to come easy to me. But growing up in the area that we grew up in, it just wasn't a lot of avenues to really explore that sort of art. So, just one of those things I put to the side. Plus, there were other things I was in the midst of, playing football and some other things I wanted to do that had a shelf life. So I had a short time span to try to accomplish those things. So I knew I had to do those first. But then life happens and like kids, jobs, and so you kind of forget those early dreams. And so for me, actually, when I had kids, that's what really spurred it. Seeing the
Oh
stuff that they
yeah.
were doing, and then just family and friends just kind of pushed me to do it. And so at the time, I was living in Raleigh. Went to the comedy club. They had an open mic, and the funny thing is, I knew before I had, when they called my name, for some reason I knew, I said, this is something I want to do for the rest of my life. I didn't care about how the
Oh,
performance was going to turn out. I knew this is going to be a part of my life forever.
that's awesome. So, one thing that I've shared with on my live vlogs is that I used to be a very
Here we go, ladies and
came to the
gentlemen. Here we
serious
go.
person, but a couple of years ago, I decided, okay, I'm not going to be so good for the soul
Hmm.
situations.
You
So
know,
you pausing too long.
I'm not pausing. I know your Wi-Fi went down. Now, if you want to have some
No, it
fun,
did not.
if you want to have some fun, go to AT&T or Verizon and upgrade your phone,
No,
and you
you
would
know
get a
what?
kick out of life. Trust me. No, but go ahead. So laughter is important.
Yeah, it is important, and I have found that, it has helped me a lot. And so, do you find that you meet a lot of people who are very serious and just really need to laugh in life?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where if you allow life to put you in a pressure cooker, it will. And at some point, you have to look at a situation, sometimes even understand it to bring levity to it so that it's easier to process. Because, if you take life too seriously or even take yourself too seriously, you're going to end up really not understanding what life is about. You got people, I mean, for example, look at how hard we work, how much we put into, our companies versus what we put into our families. And then we wonder what happened. Why
Oh my
there's no
God.
more of a family unit, and we say it's for survival, but when you look at it, it's not really for survival. It's to acquire material things or to feel that we have to be at a certain economic status for really self gratification. It's not for survival, it's self gratification. When
Mm,
you just, and it's
wow.
cool. I mean, it's cool because people work hard for their money and you do what you want to do with your money, but don't say it's for survival. It's really you just want some extras in life, and you got to ask yourself, if
Mm,
family is important, am I really putting the time in, with my family to make it grow as much as I am my job? It's hard, and you got to make sacrifices, but I mean that's life.
wow. That makes me think about the brief conversation we had about priorities. And I think it's important to invest in yourself and not, because I'm adopting this minimalist mindset. Do you know what that is? Like, where you're not acquiring a lot of goods, your preference is for experiences in life over material things, because I used to be very materialistic. Oh God, I mean, it was terrible. I ain't gonna talk about it in detail, but
No, let's
anyway,
let's talk about
how
it because I want to
how
know why does
no,
Wi-Fi count as materialism? Because you might need to upgrade yours. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
am I blinking out on you? I hope not. But seriously, like, acquiring material things is not, true happiness, and we do need to take the time to invest in ourselves, and I do think that humor is a good investment. I think putting yourself in positions where you can laugh and enjoy life and see life from a different perspective is very important. And even be able to laugh at yourself, like you trying to crack jokes on me about my Wi-Fi, which is gonna push me into
Yeah.
finding a studio or something to record my vlogs
No,
in.
all you got to do is just update your plan. That's all. Just go from a
You know
cricket
what?
to and get off the free nights and weekends, and you good.
You know what? I hope nobody that works for Cricket is watching this, because we're gonna be in big trouble. Yeah, so let's talk about the importance of friendship. So you are a comedian, and how important, or is it important, to have
You-
friends who can support and celebrate you and what you are doing? You see the sun is rising up on me. Okay, that's a good sign. Go
mm.
ahead.
I mean,
Don't blame me.
you are who you hang around. That's, I mean, it
Mm.
is what it is. If you're around successful people that work hard, that do the best that they can, then I mean, it's going to become, it's like a disease, and you're going to catch it, and it's going to make you successful because you don't want to be, the low person on the totem pole when you look at your group of friends. But, again, I could tell a lot about a person by just talking to, the people they hang around. I mean, that tells me everything. And you see in life where there are times where you may have friends and you got to go in a different direction because they may not be there to not only celebrate you but to support you and have your back when things aren't going well. But the most important thing is to tell you the truth.
Oh
If
God, yes.
And that's important because I don't want to, when I talk to my friends or fellow comedians that I have as friends, and I may run something by them. I mean, I'm trusting that if they say it's that they're going to tell me if it's garbage or not. Because I'd rather you tell
Yeah.
me it's garbage than 200-300 people tell me it's garbage by booing me off that stage. So you got to be
Yes, which
open
bring
to that.
listen. Have you
Here
ever
we
been
go.
booed?
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
I,
No,
no,
no, I
listen.
have.
The reason I'm asking you this is because okay, you haven't been booed. You have not been booed, right? So, but what if that happens? Like, what are you gonna do? I mean, not that it's going to happen, but how would you handle that situation? Because the reason I'm saying that, I'm gonna always bring it kind of back because sometimes things don't work, right? And we have to have a plan. But if that happened, how would you handle that?
To be honest with you, I'm gonna tell you an example when it happened. But how I would handle that is honestly, uh, turn around, walk on stage, get my money, and head to the house and get back on the next stage. I mean, because the thing about it is there's so many factors and nobody's perfect. Uh, and there are just some nights where it's just not clicking. And you just got to
Right.
understand that. And now the problem is when you start having more of those nights than you do the good nights, and you're not willing to
Mm,
adjust, and you still thinking it's everybody else, and you don't realize that okay, maybe I just need to quit telling that joke. Let me just take that on out the book. But instead, those who listen, it's about when I play sports, one of the things I learned is you got to be coachable. You got to be
yes, that's
willing
good.
to take, criticism. You got to be willing to continue to work at your craft and try to get better. And that's life in general. Whatever you do, if you want to progress, and that's where the education comes in at is, learning how to
Right.
learn and learn as much as you can about your craft and become educated about whatever it is that you do. And so at the end of the day, for me, it's about understanding that you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have wins and losses, and you just got to keep moving. It's not about that one. If you define yourself by one performance, then, your life is just not going to be about much, in my opinion. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
That's right. So let me ask you a question. So when people go to comedy shows and there's a person sitting on the front row, how do you determine like if that person is a person that you should crack a joke on? Because I think that some people might take that seriously and then they want to, clap back or, go toe to toe with you. Like, how do you choose like who you're going to be cracking jokes on?
Well, I don't choose it. They choose it themselves. Like,
Oh
no, like seriously, you choose it. Like if you walk out the house with a certain outfit on, you making the choice that okay, I'm gonna be the center of attention at this comedy show.
oh gosh.
When you know there are certain things you shouldn't be doing. I don't typically. I'm not going to start a fight, but I'm going to win it. And people come to be entertained, not necessarily to be, people come to be entertained and not to be picked on. So I want to perform and entertain and not, try to pick on people to prove that, I know how to roast you. I mean, I do. I mean, that's how all of this came about. I mean, I think we're about the last generation where you could play the dozens. Now it's called bullying. Back then, You know, you could roast
Oh,
somebody, and it just was what it was, and I just happened to be pretty good at it. You know, but now if I would have done that, you know, I would have been suspended, kicked out because it was bullying.
wow. Wow. So, how do you set goals as a comedian? You know, what are your aspirations? What does it look like when you actually make it? And, you know, what are you doing to get
Hello. Yeah. Ooh, shout out to class of '95. This being homecoming weekend. Uh, but
whoop
so you were,
whoop?
here we go. There you go again, taking that extra step. But you
Oh
just
my
you don't
gosh.
know when to stop. You don't know what that line is, do you? You ain't figured that out yet. Hey, nah, that's okay. That's okay.
Working on it.
So what? See, you done got me. Now, what was the question?
So, how do you prepare for the top? How are you
Well,
preparing for the top?
well, I put it to you like this: success as a stand-up comedian, success is the minute you step on that stage. That's success. I mean, some people measure it by
Mm,
money, some people measure it by number of years or the size of the projects you worked on. But at its core, once you step on that stage and you accomplish that, you know, that's the biggest mountain. Everything after that is gravy. It is overcoming that. That's the success in it. Because if you do it for money or anything else, it's not. I don't think it's going to work out as well as you think. You're not going to have that sustainability. But to me, you have to do it out of that pure joy of making people laugh, because it's honestly like a drug, man. I mean, seriously, to go up there and, you know, to be vulnerable and you know, to be courageous and to talk about certain things in a certain way and to see people show that love for it. I mean, it's nothing but encouraging.
yeah. So, you know, anyway, when you go home, do you get a like people that we know? Like, do you feel the love like when you go home to do shows?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I really do. I got to give it up for Laurinburg. I mean, because they've been very, very supportive, and I really love the people there, and that's what it's about. It's about the people there. Sometimes we get wrapped up in the bricks and mortar of a town or a city, and at the end of the day, it's really about the people that live there. There's some great people in Laurinburg, and they've always been supportive of me, and that's the thing. You know, some people say Laurinburg's not supportive. Well, no, they're not stupid. They're not going to put their time and energy into something that is not, you know, really about anything positive. I mean, that's really a lot of places. And so, you know, like I said, I've had nothing but love and support from my hometown. I love it. I'll be there today, actually in a little bit. So I'm looking forward to that, performing tonight for the homecoming crowd. So I'm excited about that, to be back.
Awesome.
That's gonna be, we're gonna have a lot of fun tonight. But you know, I love being there. I've always loved coming back and just seeing my family and friends. It's a wonderful place. I think it's a great place still. It's got great people, and they've always been supportive. So shout out to them, and I'll always remember that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I do love going home too because it's like a retreat and you kind of get to just kind of decompress a little bit and get some chicken from infamous place that we know. Do you like
Well, see, I can't do it like that. I can't do it. I used to be
what?
able to. I used to. Let me tell you something. I used to be able to go there and get it, but now I can't. If I eat too much of that place, my stomach is toe slam. And you talking about decompress. But remember, I remember. Let me tell you, you used to be able to tell who had money when they walked in there by what they ordered. No, seriously. I mean, seriously, if somebody came in there and they got a slice of all the way and a two-piece snack, you got paid that day, or your
Oh,
income tax thing came in or something. But if you go in there and all you get is you trying to look for that old piece of just cheese, and hopefully they'll
No.
combine that with a new piece, and you don't get no chicken, no nothing, okay, you don't get paid for a couple of days. Yeah, I mean, that just is what it is. And if you
Oh my gosh.
if you go in there and you used to get, you used to getting the bottled juices, the expensive ones, okay, you got some money. But if you come back with a Jungle Juice or a Capri Sun, yeah, you broke that day. You broke that day.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. That's funny too. I love it. I'm telling you, that's one of my first stops when I go home now. I'm telling you. And sometimes it got so bad one time that I was looking for people who were going home so I could have them bring some chicken back for me. And it worked out a couple of times, but I'm telling
Look here,
you, that's
I'm
the
sorry,
first
let me
stop
stop
for
you
me.
right there. Let me stop you right there. Are you kidding me? You tried to have,
Oh,
I'm just gonna say it, I'm sorry, you tried to have your Knicks delivered. Really?
yes,
You
I
thought, what did
did.
you think was gonna happen to the quality of that chicken after
I
being on the road
know.
from Laurinburg?
Listen, it was not the
So
same.
you
I'm
telling
telling
me
you.
you eating cold Knicks? It's hard enough eating
Well,
hot
yeah.
Knicks, but you
Listen, so let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about me. I do not like to warm my food in the microwave. My preference is not to warm my food in the microwave. I always like to warm it in the oven. And so I try to resuscitate it, but it's still not the
you tried to
same.
what?
I try to resuscitate it. I wanted it to be hot and,
Wait. I'm sorry. Did you say you tried to resuscitate some fried chicken? What do? You fried it
I
again?
did. Listen,
You
no, I
fried it
didn't fry
again.
it
You
again.
said you put some new batter and new grease and refried some fried chicken from Nick's
Oh,
that's two
God,
hours
listen.
old. Okay,
Look, you got me telling
I'm
okay,
done.
this is
I'm
my
done.
whole private life right here. But since I'm out here, let me tell you, I'm trying to justify it. So when the chicken comes back, it's not hot.
I can't
And
believe
so
this is my
I worked
life.
so
I'm a
hard.
40-year-old
I know
grown
I
man
can't
talking about
believe I'm
refried
saying
chicken on a
this.
Friday
I
morning.
can't
This is
I
crazy.
can't believe I'm telling this. I'm telling all my personal business. So let me just
Refried
tell you
chicken
this.
ain't personal. That's questionable, but not personal. Don't
Listen,
try to make it about that. No. You trying to
I
refry
want
some
it to be
chicken.
oh
I got
God,
one
I'm so
question to ask
embarrassed.
you. Where do you keep your
Oh
grease?
no.
Do you keep your grease on
No,
the stove or
no, no. I discard it. I discard.
oh you
I'm
bougie, you discard your
yeah,
grease? Okay.
yes. I
Okay,
don't do
go
that
ahead. I'm
no more.
sorry.
No more. You know, you grow up and you grow out of some habits now. Okay. So let me finish this thing about my chicken now because I got to go in and clear the air. So I put it in the oven to heat it up because I want it to taste like it just came from behind the counter. And it does not work. And I'm telling you, when you eat Nick's chicken, you got to eat it within like the first 10 to 15 minutes because it ain't the same. You can't let it cool down. You cannot put it in the refrigerator. It's just not the same. So now I don't ask anybody to bring me any anymore. I just get my own whenever I go home. And I'm fiending for some right now.
Are you done? Can
Yes,
we
I'm
can
done.
we talk? I'm pretty sure that the people watching and listening want to hear us talk about something other than you
Okay.
frying some already fried chicken and some new grease because you bougie like that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what we gonna talk about? Let's talk about something else. Let's take 5 more minutes. What do you want to talk about? Let's talk about life. Like
That a way to be
progressing in
specific?
life and let me see. What do you want to talk about?
I'm
I'm
open for
open.
anything at this point.
Um, let's talk about doing something new. When is the last time you did something for the first time?
Today, right now, this is the first time
Oh
I've
yes.
ever been Facebook Live. I've always, uh, kind of shied away from it, but this is the first time. So right now,
Okay, so that's good because you're the first man that I've had on vlogging,
and I
and
want
so
to
I'm
ask you
excited to.
about that too. So why don't you
Oh
have more
God.
men that are on? So are you saying you just that's your target audience is just
No.
women and men, we don't need encouragement or we don't need to be preyed
Oh,
on. Just don't know.
listen.
Is that what you're saying?
Well, I do have I had another friend, and I still have that friend, and I'm gonna still try to get him to come on. But you just kind of kicked the door open, and so I bless God for you being willing and able and bringing this humor this morning. So you're the
Hmm.
first, so it's gonna go down in history. So let's talk
Hmm.
about that. Why do you watch me in the morning?
Well, I mean, you offer the encouraging words, and I think at this time, particularly in today's society, you want to get as much positive energy and encouragement as possible. I think we need it, and that's just where I am now. If it's something negative, I'm not really going to spend time on it because it doesn't help. And then I've always tried to be supportive of anybody from my hometown, especially from the class of '95 that I could support in any type of way. Here we go again. Uh, but anytime I could be supportive, or because you guys have always been supportive of me, and I've just always believed in it. And I mean, I see people do it all the time. They help people that they've known growing up, or they, have partnerships or collaborations, and it's like, why not? That's the other thing. But
Right.
right now, it's just so much negative energy, that at some point, we all need some level of encouragement and things like that. And then, but at the end of the day, it's like I said, it's just being supportive of one another at the end of the day.
Thank you. Have you ever cried watching any of my vlogs?
No, other than when you lost the Wi-Fi connection last
No.
Friday, I was laughing. I was in tears when you lost that one.
There you go.
And you doing
You
it
know you are
again.
wrong.
Yeah, I was crying laughing when
No.
you lost your Wi-Fi connection. Now that was funny.
So let me tell you something. Let me tell
Here we
you
go.
something.
Here we go.
So
So what had happened was,
what had happened was, I think it was too many people trying to park around me, and they were like zapping my juice.
it's everybody else's
But
fault.
listen,
How dare they zap your public juice? How dare they?
but you know what? It's just like when you go on stage, right? You don't know what's going to go wrong, so you got to be able to recover quickly or have some type of contingency plan or something. Because guess what? There are two of my friends who are, I love my friends because they're very truthful to me. A couple of days I greeted people and it was the wrong day of the week. I said it was Wednesday and it was Thursday, right? And they corrected me in love, and I do appreciate that. And so one thing I
Corrected you
tell
in
people,
love on the day of the week. How do you correct somebody in a hateful way when they get the day of the week wrong?
oh,
Ooh,
okay,
I
one
hate
time,
you. You said it's Tuesday and it's really Wednesday. I can't stand your gut. I
no,
mean, how do they say it in a loving way? I want to hear
they
this. I want to hear
did.
this loving
They
correction.
said,
I'm listening.
well, you know that today is Thursday and not Wednesday. And I said Wednesday. And then because I don't always go back and look at the vlogs. And I went back
Wait,
and I was like, oh
excuse
God, I
me. Did
said,
you really cover your mouth with both your
yeah,
hands and scream like that when she corrected you?
yes. Because sometimes we mess up, right? And sometimes people can get caught on that instead of the context in which I'm speaking or the content, and I don't want to lose people, but I'm not perfect. So stuff happens. And so that's not the first time it happened,
Wait,
but
you'd have got the
thankfully
days of the
people
week
learn a lesson.
wrong before? You know what? I know what it is.
Yes.
I know what it is. You got the horrible Wi-Fi connection, and your phone doesn't
No,
update properly, even the days of the week.
you know what?
Is
Speaking
that
of
it?
updates, my 7-year-old asked me last night if I had updated my phone. And I was like, how do you know that there's an update? These kids are very smart.
Let me tell you
As
something.
to me, I pay the bill.
Let me tell you something. I got a set of twins, boy and a girl. They 3.5 years old. And it's funny how you can tell with their personalities so early, and they're so different. Like my son and daughter, they're very intelligent in different ways. Like my daughter, like as a father, I don't want my daughter to end up, ever having to, choose an occupation where she, dances. You know what I'm saying? Not Alvin Ailey. You know what I'm talking about. So she might not be in the strip club, but she gonna own a couple of them. That's
Oh
that's
my
the
God.
type. I can see her owning them, but she ain't gonna work in them. And my son, I can see him, creating an app that just does all your work for you. I don't know. I can see him doing. They're just different in different ways. Like my daughter's gonna be bougie, but I can see her spending time in the hood. Like I'm gonna have to go to projects to get her out. Like that's
You
what
know,
she gonna be.
you are so silly. And you're serious too,
I
right?
am I am
In
dead
other
serious.
words, you have a businesswoman and you have an engineer on your hands.
If that's what you want to call it, I'm just,
Yes.
just coming from my perspective, that's what I could see happen. You see what
Okay,
I'm saying? Like, you know
wonderful.
how when you have to call your parents come pick you up from your friend's house, and typically, it's close by. I just know with my daughter, when she gets old enough, I'm gonna have to get her out the projects. That's just, but she's cool. I love her to death.
Awesome. That's funny. So tell the folks how they can find you and how they can see you perform. Where?
Well,
When?
I'll
Are
be,
you
like I
giving out
said,
any free tickets?
well, here we go. See, I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
I'm just
Somebody was gonna
kidding. I'm
try
gonna
to
pay.
get the hookup. If somebody's gonna try to get the hookup. So how about this? How about this? How about this? For tonight, right?
Oh
Let's
Lord.
do some trivia. All right, on me, 2 tickets for the comedy show tonight. What is a good question somebody can answer? What's a good question? Let's see how much what your listeners know. Since it's all women
Um.
mostly, I'm just saying if that's who you cater to.
Oh gosh. So you mean women in Laurinburg?
No, I'm just saying you have a lot of
Okay.
women on
So
your show, but what is a good trivia question? If they can answer it
what is
and
a good
answer it
trivia?
accurately, they'll get two tickets.
Oh, I can't think of any questions, and that's not normal. Um. Gosh, you put me on the spot. You asked the question.
All right, I'll make it easy for
You're
everybody.
being too
All right,
quiet.
so
All right. Thanks.
so how about this? So how about anybody that is not a relative of mine? If you can name the neighborhood that I grew up in. Oh, that's
Okay.
funny.
That's for the
That's
Laurinburg folks. The international folks who are watching us,
yeah, yeah,
they're not
yeah.
gonna know the answer.
Well, they
Okay,
probably
so
won't be
for
at the show in
Laurinburg
Laurinburg
folks
tonight
who know the
anyway.
answer.
So for
No, they're
those
not.
who aren't
But you
from
know, but
Laurinburg, I'll be in. So I know October 25th, I'll be performing in New York at the Mic Check Wednesday. So for all the people in Brooklyn, I'll be back again um, after this weekend. So I'll be back the 25th.
okay, so we got some people
So
from New York watch the vlog. That'll work. Go see him. When you come into Raleigh Durham
yes,
area.
I'm actually working on that now. Once
Okay,
I release, so I guess this is the time I need to plug my stuff. I got to do a better
yes, do
job of
that.
this. So I've got all right. So a few things. So tonight, for those who don't know, it will be recorded. Part of it will be recorded, and I'll put it out in a little bit. But then also, I have a half-hour special coming out. I think maybe November, December. I filmed it back in July, but we got some marketing, advertising, and promo to do for it. But that's coming out. And then we're planning a tour in the spring. So more than likely, unless something comes up, I'll be in Raleigh probably early part of spring.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm gonna come check you out. Um, so are there any words of wisdom that you want to share with the folks on Friday to encourage them to finish the week out strong?
Well, I will say this. So what I've learned today is to finish the week out strong. Number one, if you can financially, make sure your Wi-Fi is updated. Get off nights and weekends. Don't be
No.
like um, Tanika was still on nights and weekends. I still say you got a
Oh my
flip phone. I still think
God.
you got a flip phone.
No.
But
I'm not telling you.
I'll say this. Encourage yourself to build a life where you look forward to Monday. Like a lot of us live lives and we hate to see Monday come.
Yes,
We
that's
hate to see it.
good. I like
Well,
that.
you should want to see Monday come because it's a chance to,
Oh my
typically that's when the
gosh.
work week starts. You want to build a life where when Monday comes, you're looking forward to it because it's a chance to do more and to enhance your life and to get back to whatever it is you love. So, build a life where you look forward to Monday Because if you can do that, we already look forward to Sunday and Saturday and Friday and maybe some days of the week if it's a holiday or our birthday. But when you say Monday, people shut down. I mean, but at the end of the
Yeah.
day, you should try to build a life where, you look forward to Monday, where you see Monday as an opportunity and not an obstacle. That's the difference.
Yes.
And it doesn't change the day of the week, still the same number of hours. None of that changes. The only thing changes is your mindset
That's
and
so
how you
true.
look at it.
That's
Everything is
right.
mindset,
Oh
man.
my gosh.
Everything, so much in life is mindset. If even in sports, man, I remember in high school and in college, the biggest difference was not necessarily, it was physical, but it was mindset. It was,
True.
mental. And as you notice, as you progress in life, as we get older and we look for opportunities at a higher level, and you start to see, okay, everybody has the same credentials, everybody, has what they need. So when everybody has the same credentials, how do you separate yourself? And typically at that point,
Mm.
that's when companies want to know, what is your perspective? What is your philosophy? What are your
Yes.
priorities? How do you all of that is mental. That's your perspective. That's a
That's right.
mental perspective. And that's why as you progress in life, you got to mentally adjust. It's not so much the physical things, but at the same time, you just have, it's your mental adjustment. But if you do
Yes. Someone
enough,
said,
the other thing I see is, a lot of people don't like to go to the next level. Like they don't like to.
mm,
It's like that, right? One of the things that it has been a part, that's really a part of a lot of cultures is the rites of passage, and that's typically where you go from one stage of life to the next. And if you don't have that, and you don't have those signals and cues to say, okay, at this age you need to put that down, and you need to pick this up, then you tend to, as my mama say, tarry too long in the same place, and you don't progress. And so you don't know
all
when,
right.
okay, I go from a boy to a young man at this point. I'm a young man, now I'm a grown man. But if you don't have somebody that's been through that telling you, okay, now it's time for you to stop, then it's just, you get stuck too long. And so in life, it's the same
Mm.
thing on your job. I mean, and nothing against a person working a job a long time, but if somebody doesn't, it's like a lot of times if somebody doesn't come along and say, okay, it's time for you to be promoted, most of us won't even try to be.
Oh my God. Yeah. And so we
I
really need
mean,
to be
really,
sensitive to that. Yeah. We need
yeah,
to
you
be
just got to
sensitive
know
to that.
when
And
it's,
someone when it's time to move.
yeah,
Because there's a term in the corporate world, it's called the glass ceiling, and so you need to know like when you hitting that thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to keep hitting your head up against, because you're gonna have a headache, and then you're gonna get frustrated, in that position. But sometimes you do outgrow your role, and so you need to be pursuing what is new for you, because we want to be challenged. Our mind has the capacity to expand above and beyond where we are. And so I was just, well, the very first time this morning that I came in, I was talking about growth and how it is vitally important. And you even said that it's important to be around people who are going to support you, who are going to grow you. I like to say I like to be around people who are going to sharpen me, because iron sharpens iron. I don't want to be the only person in the room thinking on a particular level. I like to be in a room with people who may be thinking on a higher level than me, because it gives me something to reach for, and it lets me know that there's opportunity for growth. But don't be stagnant. Don't stay in a place where you are not happy, right?
yeah,
I mean, because this
you,
world
you
offers so much, and now you got so many entrepreneurs, I mean, pioneering and doing all this wonderful stuff. I mean, so many opportunities, and you got to take
yeah.
advantage of them.
Let me tell you something.
I get excited. Okay, go ahead.
I had a mentor, and he told me this a long time ago. He said, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Because who you going to learn from? Who do you learn from? And
Ah, yes. Okay,
information is critical.
that's
So
right.
if you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. It just is what it is, because you need to constantly be in situations where you're
Okay,
learning and
and I'm gonna
not.
give you
What time is it? We running over our time, aren't we? See,
8:43. Let me just say, see, you got hot like 3 minutes ago for real, so I can tell you like in your zone, so you're gonna have to come back. But let me say this part. When you talk about being the smartest person in the room, what happens to you as the smartest person in the room, the people who are not right where you are, they're gonna be pulling on you. They're gonna be wanting something. You have to pour
Yeah.
out to them and you end up kind of drained. You know what I'm saying? But you want those relationships that are going to feed you and reciprocate what you are pouring out. It's like mutually beneficial. And so if you find yourself in a place and you are the smartest person in the room, there's nothing wrong with that, but there's opportunities for you to be a leader, but you got to still make sure that you put yourself in a position with some people who give you something to reach for. That's why I love being an eagle. My church emblem is an eagle. My college, hallelujah. My college mascot is an eagle, and I just dying out.
Huh?
Don't
Your
say
wi
nothing,
your Wi-Fi is horrible.
Kevin.
You did all that. You know what? I'm gonna
Don't
be.
say
Wait
it.
now. Wait.
I will
All
talk to
right.
you after
So
we get off. But
to all
anyway,
your listeners, let's
what do
bring
you
all
have any
your
last
listeners in.
things to
Yeah.
say to the people?
This is what I
I
got to
will
say
have
to the
you back
people.
on.
This is what I got to say to the people. All right. We're gonna be your true friends. All the people out there that are listening and
No, it's the
watching. Let's be
concrete.
a
What's
true
in the
friend.
concrete? No.
Let let's be a true friend and let's tell Tanika, update your Wi-Fi. I'm trying to be a true friend and keep it real with you. Get rid of that cricket phone, that jitterbug, or whatever, that Obama phone, and you got to update it. You got to get you a better Wi-Fi, and don't be blaming it on
Don't
people.
type that, y'all. Don't type
Nah,
that.
but one last thing I'll say is everybody got to learn to laugh. You got to learn to laugh at yourself. You got to
No,
learn to laugh
no.
at life. But just learn to
I made
laugh.
it too.
You did it. Hey, again, you did it. You signed that contract with whatever place, flea market, you bought that plan, and that was you. Oh, that was that was the other thing. You know what I noticed? No, I ain't gonna go. We'll come. Look, will you have
See,
me back on at some point? You gonna have me back on? So if enough people, all right. So if y'all enjoyed it this morning,
you
let
know
her
what?
know that y'all want her to have me back on.
No,
And
that's right. Don't do it.
yeah,
I
let
will
her
have you
know. Let
back.
her
And
know
listen,
y'all want
Carl
me
Bloom,
back on.
Carl Smith is on. He says hi.
Hey, what's going on, Carl? Let me tell you something. I want to say something about Carl Blue.
And
Carl Blue was a
y'all
hell of
go
a ball
friend
player
Kevin
too.
Wolf.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Did I go over that line again?
And you guys go and see Kevin Wolf.
See, even you know your Wi-Fi is crashing. You talking slow as
I
all
know.
get out. Don't
I'm gonna
try
get
to
you for
front
cursing
and
on
throw it
here.
off with that wave. I didn't
I
curse.
told you not to do that. But anyway, um, yeah. So anyway,
I
a
didn't
lot of
curse.
our
Did anybody hear
classmates
me
are on.
curse?
Yes, we did hear you curse, and I told you not to do that. And so I'm gonna have to revoke some of your. I don't know.
I'm
I
so
didn't promise
sorry.
to pay
Now,
you. Okay, so that's good. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
all right. See, this is when it's just gone off the rails. We have totally
Okay.
gone
All right.
off the rails at this point. We
Okay.
have totally
So
gone off the
thank
rails.
you. We're gonna chat offline, and I'm gonna get you for saying that bad word. I'm
I
gonna
want to
get you
find out
over
what
to
it
your house.
is. Can I tell people to
I,
post what word it was I said?
no, not on here. No, y'all post it on his page. Don't post it on
Don't.
my page. But
I'll
anyway,
just tag
listen.
her in the post, and that way to go to pray. Go ahead.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. I really appreciate you taking the time this morning, coming on here, and I really enjoy you and thank you for the laughter. And so I pray God's best for you. And also, everybody, y'all go and friend Kevin Wolf. So if you start seeing Facebook friend requests from people that you don't know, they probably saw you on the show. Okay, but
That's
let's
cool.
support him because he has a gift and he's funny and he came and I didn't have to pay him. So that's even better.
Well, I do.
And
Well,
for Christmas,
I do want
and for
to
Christmas, he's gonna give me a gift.
see. We're gonna have to talk about that. Well, I did cuss on your show. Well, no, I don't know. That's subjective. But anyway, everybody still needs to support you and what you're doing and the positive energy that you're pushing out. I think it's important that we really are there for people that are trying to do things the right way and be encouraging. So I appreciate the opportunity of sharing your time and space that's usually reserved for you and just the women, I guess, not the men. But anyway, I do
No, it's
appreciate
not just
that.
the women. Men can watch too.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Thank you.
So,
Men are welcome to watch. And listen, no, men are also welcome to attend the events that we have. So you're
what's
going
your
to be
next
coming
event?
hopefully in December. Hopefully, December 9th, it is the Spiritual Gifts Unwrapping Holiday Social. And so men are welcome to come, and you can come. And if you come and you do comedy, you can't say any bad words because we'll put you out and we'll probably lay hands on you.
Oh,
Okay, but anyway,
Jesus. Here we go.
yeah, we'll talk about that offline. Don't say nothing. Okay, but anyway, yeah, so I hope that you can come. If you can't come to that one, that you will be able to come to someone because, I love being around creatives and I love providing space for people to grow and to meet new people. Okay, so we're going to go before you get,
I'm already
pounded
late for
again.
my neck. I have another interview scheduled, and I'm already like 20 minutes late.
No, okay, get off.
No,
We're gonna talk later.
it's too late at this point. I'm just gonna keep talking, even if you click me off. So
No,
anybody want to
I'm not
listen,
clicking
I'm
off.
just
I'm not
gonna.
playing no. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna have a fantastic Friday. Finish strong,
Have a great
and make
day.
sure you get some laugh in. Go and be Wolf's friend on Facebook. All right, y'all have a
Yes.
fantastic
Take
day, and
care.
I'll talk with you soon. And a great weekend. All right, bye bye.
Bye.